At a recent public meeting at the Eastern Longlook Community Center, Minister responsible for Labor Dr. Kedrick Pickering heard the concerns of residents as it relates to issues surrounding labor in the territory. Some of the most pressing concerns by the residents were voiced in the hopes of bringing to the attention of the minister what they thought needed to be addressed regarding labor.
Now, I've spent most of my working life within the public sector, and I've just entered more like the private sector. And I spend a lot of time crying because I have 3 children that live in the BVI. One of my daughters was actually born in England, the other 2 were born here. But we're creating cycles of poverty in the way we actually implement the education system. And Mr. McCoy is right, we really can't separate labor from education because a lot of the issues we have for labor, they stem from our education system. And we really need to look at it. I was really happy I could have given Dr. Pickering how much he spoke about entitlement as BVI landlords. It's not that they don't want to work, but it's how they're willing to work. Because their sense of entitlement, they don't have a sense of professionalism or what it really takes to run a business and what a business really needs. And while we're willing always to help to give somebody a job, I myself now as a HR manager is forced to say, I know, yes, I want to help your son or daughter, but don't send them just because you want to meet them off the street.
For the past years, we business people have been facing a problem, a big problem. We put in for a work permit, and we have to be chasing down labor to find out if the permit is ready. We would like to know what are you going to put in place to let us know how long will a permit be ready, whether 2 weeks, 3 weeks, how we will know, so we will not be calling the labor office.
Dr. Pickering, a while ago you talked about work exemption. Now, I've been living here at least for 20 years. For sure, I think I have an indefinite work exemption. And you know what they're telling me? If I have an indefinite work exemption, I should be able to, and I contributed my tax and social security in a country. I think I should be able to, when time for election, be able to cast my ex. It's just 20 years. That's just my opinion. I'm just writing my opinion.
Speaking on the issue of work exemptions, Minister Pickering said that any country has a right to consider what is best for its citizens, and no country is obligated to give anything to anyone. He further explained why government decided on a period of 20 years for one to receive his or her residency, stating that the indigenous people of a country have a right to be protected first and foremost.
The indigenous peoples of any country have a right to be protected. Let us make sure we understand. There's a country in the world called Fiji made the fundamental mistake of allowing its indigenous peoples to be outnumbered by foreign people. Fiji is in the Pacific. They allowed the Indians from India to come into Fiji and overnight literally took over the country. And the indigenous people are almost poor, the poorest of the poor in Fiji. And it eventually created a civil war in Fiji. No right-thinking leader can allow that to happen. I just told you what the statistics are. I did it deliberately so that we all understand what we're dealing with. That in this country the labor force is a 60-40 split. My friend, we made a decision that we will allow a certain number of citizens per year so that the number of persons who are gaining citizenship who are not indigenous do not outnumber those who are indigenous. That is what the leadership is about.
The Labour Minister also responded to one particular concern that companies have been advertising positions when they already have someone to fill that position in mind. According to the Minister, there is legislation in place to handle such issues.
The Acting Labour Commissioner has pointed out to you that there is a legal framework that exists that should be able to deal with issues of this nature. Bearing in mind, however, that more often than not, these issues are not as simple and as straightforward as it may seem. So, invariably, there are always some other issues that may arise, but there is a legal framework in place, as your question was asked.
Speaking on the issue regarding persons calling into the Labor Department to check on the status of their work permits, Minister Pickering said that he has advised that every call put through to the department must be answered. And he added that whether the response is yes or no, he is serious about ensuring that every inquiry is satisfied with an answer from persons within the department.